Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear student, in our previous video we had started the lesson number 2, life processes in living organism part 1. In that lesson we had learned living organisms and life processes. Today we will learn about the living organism and energy production. Living organism and energy production. See the question which is on the top of the page number 13. Observe and label the diagram given beside. Label this diagram in your textbook. The first labeling is nasal cavity, the second is oral cavity, third pharynx, next bronchus, diaphragm, alveoli. First nasal cavity, second oral cavity, third pharynx, fourth bronchus, fifth diaphragm, next sixth alveoli, seventh larynx and eighth lungs. So this is the diagram of human respiratory system. So let us see what is respiration. Energy production takes place in respiration process. Let us see what is respiration. The process of release of energy from the assimilated food is called respiration. The process of release of energy from the assimilated food is called respiration. Assimilation means conversion of food into a soluble substance that get absorbed into the blood. That process is known as assimilation. This process of release of energy from the assimilated food is called respiration. In living organism, respiration occur at two levels. First is a body level, or it is called as breathing. Body level respiration is called as breathing or external respiration. See, oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged between body and surrounding in case of respiration occurring at body level. Oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged between body and surrounding in case of respiration occurring at body level or breathing. It is also called as breathing or external respiration. This breathing involves movement which bring the air into the lungs, that is inhalation. This bring the air into the lungs means oxygen get absorbed in this process. It is known as inhalation, and expel the air containing more carbon dioxide from the lungs to the outer environment, that is exhalation. Inhalation and exhalation goes on continuously. This is known as breathing or a body level respiration. Exchange of gases in and out of the blood also takes place simultaneously. Exchange of gases in and out of the blood also takes place simultaneously. The taking in of oxygen and giving out of carbon dioxide from the blood also takes place simultaneously. So this is the body level respiration. In case of respiration at cellular level, foodstuffs are oxidized either with or without the help of oxygen. In case of respiration at cellular level, foodstuffs are oxidized either with or without the help of oxygen. Depending upon availability of oxygen, respiration is of two types, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. With oxygen is known as aerobic respiration and without oxygen is known as anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen and anaerobic respiration occur in the absence of oxygen. It is a very कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोसेस. समझ में आया? एरोबिक जो प्रोसेस होती है प्रेजेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन में और एनारोबिक इन द absence of oxygen. In case of respiration at cellular level, foodstuffs are oxidized either with or without the help of oxygen. See the question which is on page number 13. Three question which is on page number 13. How many atoms? See the question. How many atoms of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen are respectively present in a molecule of glucose? The formula of glucose is C6H12O6. That is why the carbon atom is 6, hydrogen atom is 12 and oxygen atom is 6. 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen and 6 atoms of oxygen are present in the molecule of glucose. Which type of chemical bonds are present between all these atoms? So which type of chemical bond is present? The covalent bond is present between all these atoms, between all these carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atoms. The covalent bond is there in glucose in between the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. See the third question. In terms of chemistry, what happens actually when a molecule is oxidized? The C, when an element is oxidized in chemical terms, it loses electron and gain oxygen. It loses electron and gain a oxygen. That is known as oxidation. The C, cellular or first we had learned first type of respiration, that is body level or body level respiration. It is also called as breathing or external respiration. The second type is cellular or internal respiration. Cellular or internal respiration, it takes place in mitochondria of the cell to release energy in the form of ATP. To release energy in the form of ATP. Carbohydrate of the food that we eat every day are mainly utilized for the production of energy required for daily need. Daily need अपन carbohydrates खाते, carbohydrates अपने को राइस, wheat, जवार से मिलता है, अपन डेली ये खाते हैं. और ये जो फूड स्टफ है ग्लूकोज इज अ टाइप, ग्लूकोज में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. ग्लूकोज इज अ टाइप ऑफ कार्बोहाइड्रेट दैट वी कंज्यूम एवरी डे आर मेनली यूटिलाइज फॉर प्रोडक्शन ऑफ एनर्जी. इससे अपने को एनर्जी मिलती है कार्बोहाइड्रेट से, रिक्वायर फॉर डेली नीड. इट इज़ अ इम्पॉर्टेंट न्यूट्रिएंट that body needs, carbohydrate. This energy is obtained in the form of ATP. This energy is obtained in the form of ATP. For this purpose, glucose, a type of carbohydrate, is oxidized step by step in the cell. This is called as cellular respiration. The carbohydrate of the food that we consume every day are mainly utilized for the production of energy. जो कार्बोहाइड्रेट अपन खाते हैं फूड में, न्यूट्रिएंट व्हीट, जवार, बाजरा में जो अपने को मिलता है, वो उससे अपने को एनर्जी बनती है बॉडी में. दिस एनर्जी इज ऑब्टेन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ATP, एडेनोसाइड ट्राइफॉस्फेट. ये कंपाउंड की शक्ल में एनर्जी बनती है. फॉर दिस पर्पज ग्लूकोज, अ टाइप ऑफ कार्बोहाइड्रेट, इज ऑक्सीडाइज स्टेप बाय स्टेप इन द सेल. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज सेलुलर respiration. This is a cellular respiration. Those two methods are aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, glucose is oxidized in 3 steps. In aerobic respiration, glucose is oxidized in 3 steps. The first step is a glycolysis. See, the first step is a glycolysis. That is, cellular respiration occur among the living organism by 2 methods. Those 2 methods are aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, glucose is oxidized in 3 steps. In aerobic respiration, glucose is oxidized in 3 steps. The first step is a glycolysis. The second step is tricarboxylic acid cycle. It is also called a TCA cycle or a Krebs cycle. The third step is electron transfer chain reaction. It is called as ETC reaction or ETC cycle. Tricarboxylic acid cycle or ETC cycle. To see the process of first step is a glycolysis. The C, carbohydrates are converted to glucose after the process of digestion is completed. Carbohydrate are converted into glucose after the process of digestion is complete. जब digestion complete हो जाता है, कार्बोहाइड्रेट न्यूट्रिएंट जो है वो ग्लूकोज, कार्बोहाइड्रेट, प्रोटीन, फैट, विटामिन, मिनरल से न्यूट्रिएंट है. कार्बोहाइड्रेट जो है ग्लूकोज में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है डाइजेशन के बाद. द ऑक्सीडेशन ऑफ ग्लूकोज फॉर रिलीजिंग एनर्जी इज कॉल्ड एज ग्लाइकोलिसिस. ऑक्सीडेशन ऑफ ग्लूकोज means gaining of oxygen or losing of electron of glucose for releasing energy is called glycolysis, which takes place in cytoplasm. ये cytoplasm में होता है ऑक्सीडेशन ग्लूकोज का. for releasing energy is called glycolysis, which takes place in cytoplasm. ये cytoplasm में होती है रिएक्शन. A molecule means single molecule of glucose is oxidized step by step in the process, and 2 molecule of each pyruvic acid ATP. ATP is a adenosine triphosphate compound. ATP is a adenosine triphosphate is a energy rich molecule and energy stored in the bond which phosphate groups are attached to each other. This molecule are stored in the cell as per need. Chemically, ATP is a triphosphate molecule formed from adenosine ribonucleoside. It contains a nitrogenous compound adenine, pentose sugar, ribose and 3 phosphate group. As per the need, energy is derived by breaking the phosphate bond of ATP. Hence, ATP is called as the energy currency of the cell. So, this is a adenosine triphosphate. It is an energy rich molecule. Energy rich molecule. This in glycolysis process, a single molecule of glucose is oxidized step by step in this process, and 2 molecule of each pyruvic acid, ATP, NADH2 and water are formed. NADH2 is a enzyme. It is a enzyme which is formed in the cell and used in cellular respiration. The long form of NADH2 is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. So in this glycolysis process, 2 molecule of pyruvic acid, ATP, NADH2 and water are formed. Molecule of pyruvic acid formed in this process are converted into molecule of acetylene coenzyme A. 2 molecule of NADH2 and 2 molecule of carbon dioxide are released during this process. The C2 molecule of ATP is used up in this process. This process takes place both in aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Understood what is glycolysis? Glycolysis is the process of oxidation of glucose. It is a step-by-step oxidation. In this process, 2 molecule of each pyruvic acid, ATP, NADH2 and water are formed. Molecule of pyruvic acid formed in this process are converted into molecule of acetylene coenzyme A. 2 molecule of NADH2 and 2 molecule of CO2 are released during this process. So, this process of glycolysis was discovered by 3 scientists. ये glycolysis process 3 scientists ने discover किए, Gustav Emden, Otto Meyerhoff and Jacob Parnas. Along with their colleagues, for this purpose, they perform experiment on muscles. Hence, glycolysis also called as Emden Meyerhoff Parnas pathway, means EMP pathway. Glycolysis is also called as EMP pathway because it is discovered by the 3 scientists, Gustav Emden, Otto Meyerhoff and Jacob Parnas. That is why it is known as Emden Meyerhoff Parnas pathway, that is EMP pathway. The another name of glycolysis process is EMP pathway. Understood the first step of cellular respiration is a glycolysis. First step of cellular respiration is a glycolysis. The second step of the cellular respiration is a tricarboxylic acid cycle. It is also known as Krebs cycle. इसको Krebs cycle भी बोला जाता है. The cyclic reaction of tricarboxylic acid cycle were discovered by Sir Hans Krebs. Sir Hans Krebs ने इसको discovered किया है. This cyclic process is also called as Krebs cycle. He has been awarded the Nobel Prize in 1953 for this discovery. The another name of tricarboxylic acid cycle is TCA cycle or a Krebs cycle. See what is Krebs cycle. Both molecule of acetylene coenzyme enter the mitochondria. It is a second step. Second step after glycolysis, it is a second step tricarboxylic acid cycle. The both molecule of acetylene coenzyme enter the mitochondria. It takes place in mitochondria. Cyclic chain of reaction called as tricarboxylic acid is operated on it in the mitochondria. Acetyl part of acetylene coenzyme is completely oxidized through this cyclic process, and molecule of carbon dioxide, water, NADH2 and FADH2 are derived. The FADH2, the long form of FADH2 is flavin adenine dinucleotide. NADH2 means nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide and FADH2 means flavin adenine dinucleotide. Both enzymes are formed in the cell and used in cellular respiration. ये enzymes है जो सेल के अंदर बनते हैं और cellular respiration में यूज होते हैं. तो this is a tricarboxylic acid cycle or a Krebs cycle. It is also called as Krebs cycle. तो